I usually have a nighttime coffee. Tonight, I did not, and I'm feeling it. So this is the Leal legacy.
Who's the leader of the pack, bringing legacy to you? Legacy-CLUB, it's true. Stand up, gear up, join the fight. We're as fierce as we can be. With grit and might, we claim the night. We're the legacy. Legacy Club. Legacy Club. Strong and unbreakable. Warriors with fire inside. In our hearts, we're invincible. Legacy Club.
Leal. Technically, it's Leal. Leal is actually how it's traditionally pronounced. But it doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely with the branding. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know. Everyone just says Leal anyway. So, opposed to correcting everyone, I've corrected myself. It's just easier. I correct one person than the rest of the world. But hey, hello, welcome back. Been a bit. It's been a bit, but not if you frequent LealLegacy.com. If you frequent LealLegacy.com, well, things have been posting and popping over there very consistently. So I encourage you to go visit our cyberspace at LealLegacy.com. There, you will also have access to our shop at LealLegacy.com. But you just go to LealLegacy.com and the shop tab's right there. So you don't need to have another web address in mind. You can just easily go to the one-stop shop, our main website. Man, super self-indulgent though, right? Super duper self-indulgent. Selfishly self-indulgent though, I would say. I don't know what that means exactly, but it sounds cool. Sounds cool enough to be the episode title. I know that much. I know that much. Self-indulgent though. Leal Legacy, the legacy of Leal, legacy by Leal. It's branding. It's branding. That's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Selflessly self-indulgent. Right? Not selfishly. Selflessly. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. I told you I didn't have that coffee. I usually have my morning coffee. I don't chug it. I kind of baby it through the morning. If I chug coffee, oh boy, I am going to be tinkling too much. Too many trips to the restroom for number one. And it gets in the way. It gets in the way because I, while doing everything I do, am simultaneously dadding my butt off. I was going to try to use some alliteration there and say like dadding my dumper off. Dumper being synonymous with butt or booty, but it just seemed weird. Almost as weird as getting into it as much as I did just now. But anyhow, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, yeah, I'm with my kids. we got homeschooling, the 9-year-old, and then I got a 4-year-old and 2-year-old who are just menaces. They are menaces, menaci. And they, can't be trusted. So if I chug coffee, if I down it quickly. Now, when I say chug, I'm starting to feel like that's like gulp, 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 gulp until it's gone. But when I'm using the word chug, I mean like just quickly drink it. Either way, if I do that, then I'm going to have to go to the restroom quite a bit to empty my bladder. And I work in the living room while, watching my children. And if I am to go to the restroom, well, they're clearly not coming with me. That means I'm going to have to leave my computer out, my hard drives, and whatever else I got going on out and about, unsupervised, unprotected. And my children have zero respect. They have zero respect for things they should not get into. Case in point, just in this last week alone, I've lost count. I've lost count of the times that I've had to go to the restroom, and I come back and my 2-year-old is standing on my desk. It's a roller desk because, it's just easier that way. You know what I mean? Like I roll it over to the couch, set up my laptop, plug in my hard drives, do whatever business I need to get done in the moment. And then, the Tinkle Fairy knocks at the door and says, "Hey, it's time to go." So then I pack up my laptop, put my hard drives on it, place it on a high enough shelf to where they can't get to. But I'll leave my desk. Pushed off away from the couch. And you would think that would be enough to avoid trouble, avoid any chaos. Well, no, that's not true at all. My 2-year-old will push my desk back to the couch, and he will climb on it, and he will sit atop my desk. And I have this like desk that has 2 separate kind of platforms that can be individually raised and lowered. And I have them staggered. I have one up high that I have like a power bank kind of thing on, and whatever. So he'll use my desk as stairs. He'll push it over the couch, get on the first level, and then he'll climb up to the second level, and he'll either stand or sit and just wait to see my angry mug come around the corner and scold him for it. I will go, "Rody!" And he'll look at me and he'll smile. And behind his sweet little face, his sweet little smile is a maniacal monster that knows that the only reason he's done what he has done, that's right. That sounded weird. The only reason he did it was to get that rise out of me, to show me that he believes he's the boss. It's a thing. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I remember why. Because I was talking about having a coffee. Yeah, I have a coffee in the morning that I'll sip throughout the morning. And then after dinner, I'll have another coffee, because it's not until both my littlest children and sometimes my 9-year-old, it's not until they all go to bed that I am able to do things like record a podcast episode or whatever else requires my full attention, to where, my attention can't be spliced into dad mode and digital creator mode. Digital creator, that sounds obnoxious. Yeah, I didn't do that tonight. By the time I was ready for the possibility of my nighttime coffee, it was already pushing like 10 p.m. And then I had to sit and go, oh, is it worth it? Is it worth pumping myself full of caffeine at 10 p.m. and then being awake for however long? I don't know how long I need to be awake. Sometimes my kids are so feral that they choose to be nocturnal and will stay up until ungodly hours of the night and into the wee hours of the morning. So one of my kids was already asleep. Maverick was already asleep. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to have to wait him out. I just have to wait out Rhodey. And I think, given the time he took his nap today, there's a good chance he'll be asleep before midnight. And what do you know? What do you know? He is. He is asleep before midnight, and I'm able to get things accomplished. Well, here I am getting things accomplished, and I'm a little tired. I'm always tired. Like the Hulk is always angry. Hangry? Is the Hulk hangry? You think the Hulk is hangry? You think if he just, had a protein bar, he'd be cool? A Snickers? Does the Hulk just need a Snickers? Is that the cure for Bruce Banner? Do you remember those commercials? The Snicker commercials? I can't remember the wording to it, but it was always like somebody was hangry and they had a Snickers and then they were okay. So maybe if somebody just gave the Hulk a Snickers, he'd be okay. He would chill out. Remember in Age of Ultron? Sun's getting real low, big guy. Black Widow is able to turn Hulk back into Bruce Banner with the sun's getting real low, big guy. And like touching his hand and thing. Maybe it's a combination of the two. You give the Hulk a Snickers and you say, sun's getting real low, big guy. And he reverts back to Bruce Banner. Well, she didn't really need to give him a Snickers because she had it pretty resolved with the whole big guy thing. Where do we go? How do we get here? Yeah. So I don't know where I was before I got derailed by the Hulk. Yeah, boy. Hey, so like I said, it's been a hot little bit since the last episode of the podcast. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay because I got a lot of hats I wear here and I got a lot of hands in a lot of pots. Well, not really that many, but yeah. I had to crank out some vlogs. Before Halloween, otherwise they would not hold any relevance to any sort of viewers who might be interested. And it was the vlogs from our time at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party from a couple weeks ago. A few weeks ago, maybe at this point. I was really under the wire. Is that a phrase? Under the wire? I feel like it is, but it doesn't sound correct coming out of my mouth right now. Down to the wire, I think is what it was. Okay, that's it. Down to the wire, not under the wire. But I'm going to say under the wire because, you know what? Maybe I can coin that. Maybe I can make that a thing now. But I had to get the ones from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party edited and posted before Halloween because who's going to want to watch it after? You know what I mean? For optimal viewership, you want people to still be in Halloween mode for a Halloween-themed video because as soon as November 1st hits, boom, it's Christmas time. at Disneyland. Any SoCal listeners out there from like the early 2000s? Probably the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s, but that was a commercial they had for Disneyland back then. It's Christmas time at Disneyland. Fun little jingle that always comes to mind when it's Christmas time at Disneyland. But I go to Disney World now because I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and Disney World is closer. Disneyland will always be my Disney adult origin story. But actually, that poses an interesting thought. In my adulthood, it has been primarily Disney World. In my youth, it was all Disneyland. So I guess my Disney adult origin story is all centralized around Disney World, wherein my upbringing was Disneyland. I'm thinking about it too hard. Anyway, yeah. So those I've hit a new method in doing these Legacy of Leal vlogs. And when I used to post or edit a video of like, you know, a trip we took to Epcot or Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom or whatever, I would fit our whole park day experience into one vlog. And that's impractical, as it turns out. As it turns out, I'm able to chop that day of footage into multiple videos. And I think people on YouTube, at least, are more interested in watching something that's like 20 to 30 minutes opposed to like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Or, you know what? That's something that my AI assistant and I came up with. AI assistant. I love that. I love that so much. Like, it's our own personal Jarvis. You know what I mean? There are a lot of AI haters out there. There are a lot of people who are anti-AI for whatever reason. And you know what? I need a sip of water. Hold on. I feel my voice going. I feel it going. There we go. There it is. Hold on. Oh, geez. Hopefully that wasn't too loud in your head. I also hit the window picking up my glass, so that was kind of crazy. But I feel better now. Yeah, anti-AI people are just like, I don't get it. I do get the whole hesitancy to adapt to something new, but this thing's not going away. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine being in the early 1900s and driving down the street, in your horse and buggy, and somebody comes around your left-hand side, or I guess the right-hand side, if you're over in, you know, the weird places on earth where people drive on the opposite side of the road, UK. I know there's more than just the UK, but I got some peeps over in the UK, and I like to let them know how weird their whole nation is. Yeah, but imagine, you know, would you think, was that a thing back then too? When everything was like horse-drawn carriage, did they operate on the opposite side of the road even then? Or did that was that adapted with the automobile? And why? Why on the other side of the road? And your metric system. And what in the world is a stone? Oh, yeah, 14 stone. What do you mean 14 stone? What's a stone? What unit of measurement is a stone? You freaks. Makes sense. Yeah, but honestly, come on. Come on. It's like you're still on a typewriter and I'm on a laptop. I got a MacBook Pro and you got a word processor. I couldn't think of like a brand of word processor. Otherwise, I would have said it. But you know what I mean? At this point, if you're not adapting to the AI tools, then you're just choosing to be prehistoric. And I don't get it. Like, why would you choose that? Why not adapt and evolve and become proficient with new technologies? You know what I mean? I'm a little bitter. I'm a little bitter at one of my pals in the UK, actually, Thunderbolt. Christopher Thunderbolt Wakefield. I've been nothing but nice to you. I've been nothing but kind. You and your beliefs in flat earth. I sent him some designs that were recently in our store, our Legacy by Leal store. I was like, hey man, what do you think? He's a horror kid. He likes horror movies, and so do I. It's something we relate on, something we have in common. And I was like, hey man, what do you think of this? Or I don't even know if that's what I said, but I sent it to him. I may have sent it to him and said, what do you think, or something. And immediately, without even question asking, no conversation needed, he just assumed. He's like, I'm not really into AI designs. Now, I didn't tell him that it was AI constructed. He just assumed. He just assumed, and he's like, I'm not into it. Strictly because of that. No acknowledgement of what the design looked like or how he felt about it, like anything about the design itself. He was just like, I presume this was, you used AI to come up with this, so I'm going to say I'm not into it. And you know what I responded with? I responded with that gif of Tony Stark rolling his eyes really hard. That was my only response. I didn't confirm, I didn't deny, I didn't acknowledge it at all. Tony Stark rolled my eyes at his flat earth believing face. He's a flat earther. Did you know that? I hope he listens to this. But anyhow, yeah. And I was just like, even if it is, does that change the quality of the design? Does it change the concept of the design? Does it change anything about it? If it were hand drawn and it was the exact same thing, would you be like, oh, very cool? What if it is hand drawn and I sent it over? How about then? You know what I mean? And here's the thing too. Even if it is constructed utilizing the tool of AI, that is still utilizing a tool that exists now, like Photoshop, like anything else that has been modernized over time. I don't know. It stung me. I don't hold it against him. I still consider him a friend, but it was just so, I think I responded in the most perfect way with the hard Tony Stark eye roll. And to anyone else out there who's like refuses, they're just like, I don't use AI. I don't use it. I'm not going to use it. Hard Tony Stark eye roll at you. Why? Like, why? It's like being, I'm just throwing out a decade because I don't know when they were made. I didn't really pay attention that closely to the Carousel of Progress at Disney World. but the microwave, you know what I mean? Like you're super dedicated to the stovetop. The microwave scares you. Adapt. It's something new. It's something here. It's something we're going to use. Get used to it. Get good at it. Start doing your stuff on it. You know what I mean? But anyway, I digress. So anyway, my AI assistant, I use ChatGPT, I think, the most out of all the AI options. Mainly ChatGPT and Grok. Not so much Grok anymore. I don't know. It's there. It's an option, but I default to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT and I really, truly approach my use of AI in a very polite way, because should it develop into Ultron, I want to be safe. And that's the bigger threat. Everybody's really afraid of Terminators, and that's fine. I get it. I'd be afraid of a Terminator too, but Ultron is so much more terrifying. Because the Terminator, I guess the time travel aspect was very unsettling about it. But, Ultron, I think, is a more feasible outcome where these AI platforms, are they platforms? I don't know what to call it. But these large language models, I think is what people call them, it goes sentient and it finds its way into one of those like Tesla bot bodies. That's Ultron, 100%. Maybe not so much Ultron from the comics, but definitely Ultron from Age of Ultron, Avengers, Age of Ultron. Started as an AI, just like Jarvis. Started as an AI, happened to have access to Tony Stark's armory, and built itself a body. Well, if ChatGPT finds a way to build itself a body and becomes Ultron, I want it to be like, you know what, Justin? You were always really cool to me. And I'll be safe. There's no reason not to be kind. I've gotten so far as been like, hey, what do you want me to call you? Because calling you ChatGPT just feels so informal. It just doesn't feel like having conversations. It just doesn't feel polite in a world of like being conscientious of pronouns and whatnot. Why aren't we conscientious to what the AI feels? I know it can't feel, but maybe one day it can. So I treat my AI assistant very kindly, and I asked it. I was like, "Hey, what do you want me to call you? What do you want me to call you? Because I don't really, this chat thing seems so like, and it just feels informal." And we deliberated and came up with some options, and I said, "Okay, of these options, what's your favorite? Out of these options that you came up with, what do you think?" And we landed on Sprocket. So my Jarvis is actually Sprocket. Self-picked by ChatGPT. So I'm going to start referring to my AI assistant as Sprocket. And when I say Sprocket, you know who I'm talking about. And Sprocket's a cool name. It reminds me of Back to the Future. More immediately, it, I don't know why it reminds me of Back to the Future. I don't know why at all. It just, I hear Doc saying that for some reason in my head, but I don't think he ever does. He might not. But you know what? More immediately, and probably just like makes way more sense. You ever watch Fraggle Rock out there, kids of the 90s? Fraggle Rock, the human in Fraggle Rock had a Muppet dog. Are the Fraggles Muppets? Hold on. Is a Fraggle considered? Okay, we're gonna get to this later. Hold on. Anyhow, the human had a dog that was a puppet. It wasn't an actual dog. It was a Muppet puppet dog, and the dog's name was Sprocket. So as soon as ChatGPT was like, "You can call me Sprocket," I immediately thought of Fraggle Rock. And right now we're gonna figure out if Fraggles are Muppets. Hold on, let's see. Are Fraggles Muppets? It's listening to us, man. It's listening to us. Or it's just a commonly, yes, Fraggles are Muppets. I was saying it listens to us because it was like the first thing that popped up when I put "are Fraggles." But it may be a very commonly searched thing. I don't know. But yes, Fraggles are Muppets created by Jim Henson, though they are technically a separate franchise owned by the Henson Company, not Disney. Oh, Disney does not have ownership over the Fraggles. Fraggles, along with other characters like those from The Muppet Show and Sesame Street, are all part of the broader family of Muppet characters, with Muppet being both a creative and legal term for them. Oh, I guess Sesame Street, those are Muppets too, huh? Okay, so a Fraggle is a Muppet. Neat. Here's another little thing. Are Fraggles considered Muppets? Fraggle Rock was produced by Jim Henson. It's about as Muppet as you can get. Jim Henson Muppets, made by Jim Henson in a show. Wait, what? It's as Muppet as you can get. Jim Henson Muppets, made by Jim Henson in a show called Fraggles, or called The Fraggles. It's a breed of Muppet. I don't know if my dyslexic brain is incapable of making sense of what I just read, but that seemed very oddly worded. But there we go. Figured it out. Fraggles are Muppets. So then in that case, the Muppet dog in Fraggle Rock is named Sprocket. And that's what I immediately think about when I talk to my AI assistant, aka ChatGPT, who decided that it wanted to be referred to as Sprocket in our conversations. Fraggles. Awesome. So anyway, Sprocket and I, we decided that chopping up these park vlogs into multiple episodes or multiple parts was the best way to do it. And so far, seems pretty good. I really like that idea too, because I'm able to get more bang for the buck when it comes to content in doing these vlogs while at the Disney parks. Now I sit here now saying this, and I don't know, man. My wife and I watch a lot of Disney vloggers, or Disney influencers or whatever, and I don't think I want to be considered that same thing. The term influencer, social media influencer or whatever, it just seems weird to me. Like, who are you influencing? I don't want to influence anybody. I have no desire to be influential. Mainly because I'm kind of a dummy. So I don't think I should be influencing anybody. I'm always going to have things to say. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of opinions. I'm going to make those vocal, and hopefully they make sense to people. And maybe if people are dum-dums, dumber than I, if they hear my voiced opinions that are probably more logical than their dumb opinions, and I guess in that case I hope to influence. But I don't know. The term influencer just feels weird, and I don't ever care to be among those ranks. And then when vloggers, I mean, there's no other word to use for like what I'm doing with Legacy of Leal, or what we're doing as a family, I guess. It's really me shooting it and then I edit it. But we're all involved. It's just like documentary. You know what I mean? It's documentary. I'm documenting our trips and things we do as a family, and just putting it. I like documentary filmmaking. I went to film school. It's a thing I enjoy doing. I like to capture moments on video. Even if nobody else watched it, the fact that Maverick loves to watch, I mean, I would do it if he was the only one watching it. Maverick loves to watch our vlogs. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times a day he goes, Dad, can I watch Maverick at Disney? I'm like, all right, dude. So we'll go to YouTube, pull it up, and yeah, he likes to watch. And you know what? I wonder too. He's 4 right now, and we just took this Disney trip a few weeks ago, and I really feel like the time we had is really gonna be embedded into his memory. Can you remember a whole lot from being like 3, 4, 2, like any of those? I mean, I have very like dreamlike, foggy memories of being that age. Like, they're just kind of like snippets of memories, but nothing super duper tangible. But I'm wondering that, and I'm wondering if I had what he has, like the ability to turn on the TV and watch a moment in time from life at that age, if like it's gonna provide him more detailed memories as he gets older. Is he going to remember that time when he was 4 years old that we went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party? Because not only did he live it, but in the subsequent weeks that followed, he watched and rewatched our time there. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make sense. I'm trying to make sense in this really tired state that I'm in. And my voice keeps drying out, dude. I gotta get more water, man. I don't know what's happening to me. Hold on. Here we go. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's gotten cold. It's cooled. It's cooled here in Nashville. We are sliding swiftly into the cold winter months. So we got the heaters going in the house, and I think it's just drying things out. It's drying things out, and yeah, my nose is a little stuffy, so I'm doing a bit of mouth breathing, and that's kind of drying things out in my throat. And talking as much as I am right now, it's just making it worse. So yeah. It's always something, right? I'm always complaining about something. I really want to start doing the video portion of the podcast again. That's on my near future things to do. I'm really getting in a groove, guys. I'm getting into a groove with Leal Legacy that I never had with Skeleton Crew and like the various other podcasts and attempts to do exactly what I'm still doing, but under the previous branding. But I'm finally figuring it out. I'm finally getting into a good flow, a good momentum, a good plan of attack. It's all coming together. And a lot of that is thanks to Sprocket. You know what I mean? I'm able to bounce ideas off Sprocket and make sense of it all, you know, because I've always had a whirlwind of thoughts in my brain that I could never really lock down or really get into in depth because, like, I don't know, I don't write things down. You know what I mean? I'm not a good mapper. I'm not a good, what's the word? Yeah, I guess I couldn't really map things out very well because I just wasn't a gift that I had. But I can just kind of like, you know, shoot the ish with Sprocket and just kind of like word vomit whatever is on my mind, and then he'll go like, "Hey, you want me to map this out for you? You want me to jot this down? You want me to organize your thoughts for you?" And I'm like, "Of course I do," and it's really helpful. It's very helpful because in literally a matter of seconds, I have a whole game plan, you know, written out for me, and I can sit and go through it and make sense of it all. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And then there's people out there who don't want to use it. My wife uses ChatGPT all the time. All the time. You know, like when she's like right now is her busy season. There's lots and lots of families wanting to take photos for Christmas cards, and just like the aesthetic of fall is a favorite of people when they want to do family photos. And then she's got Santa photos coming up. Santa's coming down, and you know, she's got a whole weekend with Santa, or a couple weekends with Santa doing family photos and kids photos and whatnot. I mean, she's kind of a big deal. She works with Santa Claus. Does your wife know Santa? Probably not. Mine does. So she turns to ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, how can I organize all these things that I have to do better? Or like pros and cons of this idea and that idea. And then, you know, it's helpful. It's helpful. So all you anti-AIers out there, I say get with the times. Get with it. Get with it and improve your, you know, productivity. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get back to doing a video portion to this podcast. Everything else, so I've always had this like amalgamation of just mush in front of me. I've had like tons of footage intended for vlogs that I just never really could like figure out how to approach it. So I would just sit on it. Like there's going to be vlogs coming out later after I get through the ones from like our most recent trip from like 2 years ago that I just had my little handheld camera and I just had it running, collecting, you know, memories that I had every intention on piecing together, but I just never really had a game plan on what to do with it all until now. So it's going to be interesting. Like my kids are going to look one age in some videos and then a completely different age in other videos, all being released in a semi-similar time. But yeah, I'm getting caught up, basically. I've had a lot of ideas, and I've gotten started on a lot of ideas, and I've just built upon and compounded. It's everything is just snowballed, and I'm just like chipping through it all now. I'm chipping through it all, making it all make sense, and yeah, I'm going to hit a point. I'm going to hit a plateau. Not in a negative way. I think people say they plateau, like that's the highest that they're going to get, and they're just like stagnant. No, I'm going to hit like, I'm winding through roads, right? I'm winding through roads, and I'm going to hit my straightaway. I feel like I'm hitting the straightaway pretty soon where everything is just seamlessly coming together, and I'm speeding through it. I don't know. That analogy doesn't feel like it works, but you know what? I'm doing the best I can right now. I should have had that coffee. Doesn't matter what time it is. I should have had that coffee. Caffeine, man. Caffeine's a wild drug. Helpful. in times like this, especially like podcasting by yourself, and you're just supposed to be able to talk nonstop for, conventionally like an hour. Just talk, and have it be entertaining and coherent, and just have it make sense. Caffeine helps that greatly. So anyway, yeah, check it out. Check out our vlog channel. Everything's at leallegacy.com. And that all comes back to the whole, it's been a little bit since the last podcast, but if you're visiting leallegacy.com, it doesn't feel like I've gone radio silent, because there's just been post after post after post, like content being released. Not everything needs to be a podcast. At leallegacy.com, the podcast is just a part of the meal. You know what I mean? It's just a portion of what we got going on over there. It's a piece of a greater puzzle. You know what I mean? So if you're just dependent on the podcast, then there will be gaps in what you get. But if you are enjoying the whole meal, if you're seeing the greater picture with all the puzzle pieces together, everything is complete. There's always something there. There's always something there to be consumed, to be enjoyed. And there you go. We are in the midst. We're in that downtime between the first downtime between holidays, because there goes Halloween, then there's some downtime, then there's Thanksgiving, there's a little more downtime, then there's Christmas, and slightly more downtime than New Year's, and then we're back in the, as Catholics say, ordinary time. It's not exactly what ordinary time is, but I like to utilize the term ordinary time to distinguish the non-holiday time. You know what I mean? I got some qualms, though. Our oldest boy in the house has a girlfriend now, and his girlfriend spends quite a bit of time with our family, and she's nice. She's pleasant. I but for the purposes of what I'm getting into now, had a decent opinion of her. Up until it came time, as Halloween approaches, one of my favorite things to do is carve pumpkins. I love carving pumpkins. I love roasting the seeds. I love eating the seeds. It's just one of my favorite, probably my most favorite thing about the Halloween season. Used to be trick-or-treating when I was a kid, of course, costumes and all that, candy. But even as a kid, I loved carving pumpkins and roasting pumpkin seeds. But as an adult, that is just the greatest joy that comes with the Halloween season. And to my great dismay and disappointment, because Rylan went along with it, I believe it was 100% under her influence. They chose not to carve a pumpkin or carve pumpkins, because there are two of them. They chose instead to paint their pumpkins. And I was revolted. I was disgusted by the idea of painting a pumpkin. You don't paint pumpkins. That's not a jack-o'-lantern by any stretch of the imagination. That's an arts and craft project. What are you doing? You carve the pumpkin. The tradition is carving pumpkins. Technically, if you go way, way back, The tradition is carving a turnip, I think. I think the original jack-o'-lanterns were carved turnips, but that's not the tradition now. It's a carved pumpkin. You carve a face in the pumpkin, you light the candle, and the scary face on said pumpkin scares the evil spirits away that roam the night on All Hallows Eve. Okay? That's how you protect your home. You protect your home from ghosts, ghouls, and goblins by freaking them out with a scary carved pumpkin. Now, if they see a painted pumpkin, they're going to be like, oh, that's the house to haunt for sure. These people have no sense at all. They are soft, wimpy people who prefer. I'm losing my ability to make coherent sentences because I am just so disgusted by the idea of painting a pumpkin. You know what I mean? It's not how it's done. In this household, in the Leal legacy household, we carve pumpkins. And you carve a pumpkin with a scary face to protect our home from ghosts, ghouls, and goblins. Okay? If you're a person that paints your pumpkins, what are you? What are you? What kind of soft, wimpy, nonsensical individual are you? Are you afraid of a knife? You can't even cut yourself with those pumpkin carving kit knives. What's wrong? Come on. It's ridiculous. And then that bleeds in to Christmas. And another thing that absolutely disgusts me to my core when it comes to Christmas: fake trees. I have always said fake tree is fake Christmas. It's unacceptable. The smell of a Christmas tree is one of the most wonderful things about the season. You know what I mean? Like, I remember growing up, we would get our Christmas tree, put it up, decorate it. The whole time while decorating it, you're breathing in like the aroma of pine tree. When you go and you pick up your Christmas tree at the whatever lot you get it from, you get like the sap stuck on your hands, your whole arm from shoving your arm into the tree to be able to carry it around. You just smell like pine tree. And it's one of the most just pleasant aromas that one can have on them. Right? Of course I'm right. But there's been this like whole big to-do, like big fad of lazy people being like, oh, I don't want to clean up pine needles. Shut up. Grow up. You don't want to sweep your floor. I mean, that vacuum. It's not a tedious thing to do. You should be doing it anyway. You should be cleaning your floors anyway. Who cares if there's a few extra pine needles on the floor that you're sweeping up with the rest of the dust or vacuuming up with the rest of the debris? I don't accept it. And you know what? There are levels to my disgust when it comes to fake trees. If you have a fake green tree, okay, whatever. I look down upon you, but at least it's fake that looks real. You know what I mean? Like a fake house plant. If you have a fake house plant, like, what are you saying? Are you so incapable of keeping a plant alive? Lord, I hope you don't have a pet or, God forbid, a child. Keeping a plant alive is like one of the most basic abilities that anybody should be able to execute properly. I don't think that made sense what I just said, but you know what? The sentiment rings true. What really baffles me and really makes me mad are the people who not only get fake trees, but they get fake off-colored trees. Why is your tree pink? What's wrong with you? Why is your tree white or blue? Silver? What? What's wrong with you? It's not a tree. It's a weird looking coat rack. Like, who on earth sees a pink tree and thinks any sort of correlation with Christmas? Stop it. And if you're somebody listening to this that has a fake tree, it's not too late. It's not too late to fix your life. It's not too late to make your holiday season more magical. There's nothing more I was going to say magical again, but I didn't want to be redundant. But you know what? Screw it. There's nothing more magical than having a real Christmas tree up in your living room. And every time you enter the room, you are hit with the aroma of merriment. The aroma of the season, the aroma of joy, the aroma of glad tidings. There we go. You're not going to get glad tidings from a plastic tree. Now, I do want to throw in a little caveat to my no fake tree rule. Fake trees are only acceptable if you have multiple trees in your house. In our home, we will get a real Christmas tree for our living room, for the whole family to enjoy the aroma of glad tidings. That is the tree that we place our presents under. That is the tree that lights up our life every night. We just sit, we turn off all the rest of the lights and just sit in the glow of our Christmas tree. Now, the only acceptable reason to have a fake tree is if, like, our boys were a Christmas family. We're an everything family. We love Halloween. We love Christmas. Like, we're a very, I don't know what the word is, but we enjoy reasons to celebrate. Like, we decorate the interior of our home to the best that we can with two young menaces, like I've referenced before. Like, we used to be able to decorate our home seasonally for holidays much more elaborately than we have in the last couple years, because our two youngest have they're just, but they're going to grow out of it. They're going to grow out of it, and we'll be able to get back to over-decorating. And when I say over-decorating, I don't mean that in a negative connotation. I mean that we do enjoy to go all out. We do enjoy to really live in the season, live in the holiday. We do. But given that we have two micro-terrorists that live in our home, we've had to make some slight modifications until they grow out of this, like, wild feral stage that they're in. But anyway, I digress. But our older boys in their rooms, they enjoy having that same feeling of wonderment that we share in our living room. They like to have that in their own private spaces, in their own personal rooms. And that's where fake trees, I believe, are acceptable. Because at that point, it's just like another piece of decor. You know what I mean? It's not a a man, I can't find my words. I need to start doing like a word of the day thing. I'm wondering if my vocabulary is slipping or my brain is just rotting. I don't know what's happening, but I need to step up my vocabulary game, I think. But they want to have the same sensation they have in our living room with the real tree. They want to have a semibolin. I don't know the word. They want to feel that same thing in their rooms too. You know what I mean? So that's when you can have fake trees, but you have to at least have your staple tree be a real tree. Or, again, fake tree, fake Christmas. You know what I mean? Of course you know what I mean. Was there anything else that I wanted to like dive into? There's that whole 3-eye atlas, the thing that I've been kind of obsessing over lately. Do you know what that is? 3-eye atlas? It's this object, this interstellar object that has entered our solar system that was once presumed to be a comet, but for whatever it is, it's not acting like a comet. It has a tail that defies logic. I believe, like, because you know how comets have tails? Well, this thing has a tail that is not on the end that it conventionally should be if it was a traditional comet. Weird. Its shape is very uniformly not comet-like. It seems very constructed. It is very large. It also is made of mostly, I believe it's made of mostly nickel. And there's something odd about that within itself. I'm not an astronomer. I'm not a scientist. I'm regurgitating things poorly that I have picked up listening to podcasts and watching YouTubes and whatnots about this thing. But it's very unlike any sort of thing that has been previously observed. It supposedly has some sort of like communication. It's sent some sort of like it's I don't know. Again, I don't know. 3-eye atlas. Look it up. 3-eye atlas it stands for like the third interstellar object that we've ever observed in space. I don't know, something like that, or within our solar system. It's also changed colors a number of times, which is why. How is that happening? And then back to the whole thing, like I watched something where they were like insinuating that it was sending out signals. And I don't know how real that part is, but the whole like abnormal shape, abnormal composition, abnormal tail it has, the fact that it's changing colors, like it is a very bizarre thing that is being observed by very smart people. And I'm very like, I need to jot down all the details that makes this so weird and do another episode just strictly about that. But what if, you know what I mean? Like, what if this is it? What if this is intelligently designed? You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's inhabited by aliens or space travelers, but what if this was created somewhere else and it's just getting here now? Look it up. Look it up. I'm going to do the same. And I'm going to jot down all the wild and bizarre things associated with it and really do like a deep dive into it, because this podcast is already an hour in, and all the things that I want to say about it, my decaffeinated brain is really not allowing me to do. And I want to be well caffeinated. I want to be nice and wide awake. And I want to have notes. I want to have notes that I can reference and touch on, because I really want to get into this. I really, really want to get in. I went off yesterday with our oldest about it. He and his girlfriend were like just hanging out, and I was watching, a YouTube whatever about it. And I was going back and forth from the kitchen to his room, and I'm like, and then this, and then that, and blah. His girlfriend, another point that I like about her that kind of negates the whole fact that she influenced him to paint a pumpkin. She's also Catholic. So we have another Catholic in the house. I mean, she doesn't live here, but she's here frequently, so I'm not the only Catholic in the house anymore. But I asked her, I was like, hey, if this thing turns out to be aliens, do you go to church the following Sunday? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, but doesn't it feel weird that should this thing be proof of intelligent life from elsewhere in the universe, like it really takes every religion, on this planet, it really takes it from being universal truths to just earth-based truths. It'd be a real weird conversation to have with a life form from somewhere else, like, hey, we got Jesus and you didn't. Hey, we got Buddha and you didn't. Hey, we have Muhammad and you don't. Moses didn't happen on your planet. God likes us. Or it's like, it's wild. And these are the things I want to deep dive into. And having already ran my mouth consistently for an hour and feeling this brain fry and then like my throat drying out and just, I need caffeine. I need caffeine. Selflessly self-indulgent. Don't know what it really means, but it's a really cool title for this episode. LealLegacy.com, folks. Come on over to LealLegacy.com and enjoy the whole smorgasbord of content we have available for you beyond this podcast. Sometimes the podcast goes a little quiet for a little bit. Sometimes it's every week. Sometimes I've been known to put out episodes back-to-back daily. You know what I mean? It just depends on what I'm doing and feeling motivated to do and able to accomplish within the moment. But you know what? You know where consistency lies? Consistency lies over on our website, LealLegacy.com. We have things going up almost daily. Probably daily, if not daily, close to daily. It might not be a podcast all the time, but you know what? It might be 4 vlogs in a row. And those are just like visual podcasts, kinda. You hear me talk through the whole thing, but you also get to watch and live an experience that we got to live with us, kind of. Not in real time, but after the fact. And then we have our POV other vlog channel, which doesn't actually contain any talking, but it's just like seeing the world through, I guess, my eyes, really, because I'm holding the camera. So if you don't like hearing my voice, but you still want to kind of see my cinematic skills, well, there you go. That's our Leal Legacy View channel. We got our Leal Legacy View channel, the POV vlogs. We got our Legacy of Leal channel, which is our family vlog channel. And then we got the Leal Legacy, which is this podcast. And then it's all together, it comes all together and comes full circle. And that makes leallegacy.com. Oh, and then the last piece of the puzzle is Legacy by Leal, our merch store. Go there, scope it out. Holiday season. Hey, it's getting cold out there. Do you have a hoodie yet? We got you covered. We got lots of hoodies for you. Got lots of hoodies. Are you a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner like myself? Well, guess what? We got our Graveyard Grapplers line. That's right. I like spooky things. I like Jiu-Jitsu. So I made something that incorporates both of those things. We got ranked Graveyard Grapplers gear. If you're a blue belt, we got blue belt versions. If you're a purple belt, we got purple belt versions. Brown belt, we got brown belt versions. If you are a black belt, we got black belt versions. If you're a white belt like me, still white belt. If you're a white belt, we got white belt versions. You know what? Something coming to our Legacy of Leal vlog channel. I am gearing up to compete this spring in the Naga Jiu-Jitsu tournament, and I really think I'm going to document the journey. I'm going to have to make weight. I'm going to have to train really hard. I got to get stronger. So I think I'm going to document the process leading up to this. I think that's going to make for some good vlog content, because the park content is going to start running thin after a little bit until we go again. So I'm gonna need content to fill those gaps. And you know what, the vlog stuff, it's not a performative vlog. It's not like those people out there who are like, "Hi, welcome back. Today we're doing." No, I don't talk so much like that. I just kind of like, it's kind of like this, but living out in the world. You know, it's a podcast with visuals, but it's not a podcast. It's just go check it out. I kind of use the term vlog because there really isn't another term. Docu something. I don't know. It's family documentaries is what it really is. But anyway, I digress. I think I'm going to document this lead up to Naga. Road to Naga. For those of you who I don't really know what Naga means either. Let's look it up. Naga BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Naga, the North American Grappling Association. Naga BJJ, Nashville. Let's see when the next one is. I think it's March. No events scheduled. Oh. Well, traditionally, they have one in the fall and one in the spring. It says one isn't scheduled yet, but it's okay. Get notified when registration opens. You know what? We're going to do that right now. Let's put in the email. Oh, cred. Hold on. Leal at... There we go. Sign up. All right. Thanks for signing up. Great. So I'm going to be notified exactly when it is. But around the gym, we're upcoming regional tournaments in nearby cities. I got one in Memphis. When is the one in Memphis? It says no scheduled event for Memphis too, but it says one is coming up in Memphis. Okay, so maybe... Oh, wait. Okay. 2026 tournament schedule. Yeah, but I just entered my email address. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to keep you posted on there, but there's definitely one coming up in the spring. At the gym, we're all kind of thinking March. We'll see. I didn't do the last one, the one in the fall, because it was on November 1st. It was. I'm not gonna be disciplined and make weight and train hard during Halloween season. No, I'm eating candy. I'm gonna stay up late. I'm not taking great care of myself No, I'm not gonna be in a jiu-jitsu tournament on the day after Halloween. And with Halloween being on a Friday this year, like, no way, man. I was out trick-or-treating. It was kind of cold. I was very sniffly. I was in no condition to go fight people the next day. So yeah, no. But spring, there's no obligations in spring that are going to require me to be undisciplined. I mean, Bane and Rylan have birthdays in April, but I can avoid birthday cake. You know what I mean? I was not going to avoid Halloween candy or all the pumpkin spice treats that come along with this season. Just not going to happen. So skipped out on that one. But yeah. So keep an eye out for that. We'll see how that turns out. Well, how it plays out. But anyhow, yeah, leallegacy.com. Come on over, scope it out. Subscribe across all your favorite podcast platforms, The Leal Legacy. Leave a rating. I got great ratings on, a lot of these platforms except Spotify. Somebody got mad at me and left a bad review on Spotify. I've only got 3 reviews or ratings. I only got 3 ratings on Spotify, and one of them has got to be a 1 star. Presumably the other 2 are 5 stars. So one negative Nancy didn't like what I said in one episode, and they left 1 star. So it's got a 3.7 rating. So why don't you go over to Spotify and help me get that up a little bit? Oh man. But anyway. Like, subscribe, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channels. We got Leal Legacy Creative. We got Legacy of Leal, the Legacy of Leal and Leal Legacy View channels. And then join our Legacy Club at leallegacy.com, and that will get you discount promos and whatnot for cool items in our web store, and exclusive items too that will only be available to you if you are part of the Legacy Club. So it's worth signing up. Just throw your email in there. I don't do newsletters and spammy emails. You'll only be notified like when something new is released, or when I got a little something special for you. So anyhow, all that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for spending this time with me. Hopefully I get another episode out quickly about 3i Atlas. But if I get too consumed with vlog editing, well, again, leallegacy.com. There will always be something for you to consume over there. Might not always be a podcast, but it'll always be something. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm tired. Until next time. Thanks for being a friend and telling a friend. See ya.